it is in control of a hacker and is been compromised by it. A group of zombies can come together and do a denial of service attack or DDoS. Like this. This has happened. These DDoS attacks have been happening on YouTubers from the last year. You can see this happening on your favorite YouTubers like PewDiePie, Kariminati and all that. What they did was they hacked into their servers and changed all their biometrics and information into it, which made it impossible for them to get access into. The problem with DDoS is it is very hard to find a cure for it. So instead of finding a cure, you can prevent it from the beginning by having antiviruses such as Kaspersky, Avira and AVG. Why have I mentioned these antiviruses? Because they have a feature called VPN in them. A VPN is a virtually private network which creates an encrypted tunnel from one person to another person. This does not allow anyone to see through what you are doing. And lastly, you should always trust your own ethical reasoning. It's because you should not come in control of the other people and whatever he is saying. You should always trust your own instincts when you are on the internet because it is your actions that matter. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Danish. Now we'll have the thought of the day by Jitraj.
The internet is written in pen, not pencil. Think before you post.
I repeat.
The internet is written in pen, not pencil. Think before you post. Thank you.
Thank you, Jitraj. Now I'd like to call upon cyber safety expert Avi Patel to highlight cyber safety on Snapchat.
So have you ever been cyberbullied by someone with the use of Snapchat? Yes, maybe, maybe not. So today I'm here to talk about cyber safety on Snapchat. So before I go ahead, I would just like to talk about internet. Okay, Snapchat uses internet to run, right? So internet is a global network. Nobody owns it. So if nobody owns it, it does not mean that you're completely safe. It means it's a dangerous place too. If you're thinking that it's a dangerous place, yes, please do. Because anyone can do whatever they want back on the internet. So, let's go on to uploading something on the internet. When you upload something on the internet, back on the internet, what happens is that whatever you post or do something, it just remains there permanently. It sticks to it. It's like Spider-Man. It just sticks to it. So, welcome to the World Wide Web. So there are some counter arguments where people say that yes, you can remove it off on some social media sites, like the post which you upload on social media sites or some other websites, but you don't know what goes back down in the data servers of these companies which are uploading these sites, what happens in the deletion process. So I'll get back to it. So now I would just like to go back on the whole Snapchat thing and let's talk about the network preferences. So, I would like to morely focus on this number of ages, 13 to 21. And as you can see, that I'm trying to more focus on Snapchat because if you see these number of ages in Facebook have already taken over in the elderly, but I would like to focus on the youth. As you can see, the majority of youth is there in every social media apps which are there, also in YouTube and everything. But today we are focusing on Snapchat. Right, so Snapchat has a lot of young audience using it. Also, as you can see over here, more than half of the graph, more than the half percentage of this graph is 61 percentage, as you can see. And that's why a lot of young audience uses it. And I'll tell you the reason for it. So first I'll tell what Snapchat is. Snapchat is a photo messaging app where you click snaps and send it to your friends. You have stories where you can upload it and it stays there for 24 hours. The same thing which you can do for videos. You can click small videos and send it. And there are many things you can do, video calling, and then there are some trophies which you got to unlock by uploading some number of Snapchats and some number of snaps. And the main thing which makes people attract to it, how it's more fun and entertaining is that the face filters they have, the dog filter, the rainbow filter, the teddy bear filter, because that's what making the audience attract. And there are many other features, that there are some news, facts which are being shown on it, and that's what brings the young audience attract to it. So due to that, there are 4 to 6 billion videos viewed daily, and there are 100 million daily active users every day. And due to that, between the age of 13 to 34 of smartphone users, you will see 60% of new riders every month, every new users every month. But we should think on the safety side of it. Because now a lot of now there have been safety issues being discussed on Facebook, Instagram, but Snapchat is somewhere lacking behind, and that's what I'm here to talk about for the cyber safety of it. So whenever a cyber safety concern is taken up, and whenever these causes have become, there are 3 causes of accident which are over here. I didn't think, I didn't see, I didn't know. So I would like all of you over here to keep this 3 points in your mind right now, because that's what I'll be talking about each of them. So first we have I didn't think. Right. So whenever you download an app, you go to the app store and you have all these side apps beside it, which are developed by some unknown users. And to go about it, before I go on to Snapchat, I would just like to give you an example. So people over here, you might be big fans of playing Clash of Clans or let's say Candy Crush. And whenever you play these games, what happens is that at one point of time, you feel like hacking them, you want to put cheat codes and everything, and then just use them to level up and be first. But then you don't know what happens. There have been serious major cases where what has happened is that whenever you download this app, there have been hardware damages to your phone. All these apps, they cause hardware damages. Sometimes even they loot off the money from you. And yes, as you can see over here in Snapchat, there are in-app purchases. And yes, let's get back to the whole Snapchat thing. So what we are saying is that a quick save, then you have snap upload, all these features are available in Snapchat. Then why should you download this and cause a serious hardware damage where viruses can come up into your phone, there can be malware function. Also, they can loot money off from you, they can waste your time, they might just ask you questions, sign up. So there are many things which can just go wrong. So you gotta be safe back on when you're using internet. That's a major cyber safety concern. Next we have I didn't see. Okay, whenever you're using Snapchat, whenever people are using Snapchat, whenever they want to send messages to someone, a snap, you have to select a set number of people and then send it. And what happens is that when people have a lot of friends, they end up selecting the wrong ones and it goes to them. And sometimes the snap which has gone to the wrong people, those people, they might just question them back, why did you send me? Or if there are bullies, then there are cyber police cases which are going to come up. They'll start harassing you, they'll start cyberbullying you, and there'll be many things which will happen. And yes, another thing, and if they are screenshotting the snaps which you are sending, if they do it constantly, then what you can do is that you can block them, or else if you are uploading your snaps on the stories, what you can do is that there are some custom settings where you can block them off from watching all your stories, or else what you can do is just block them. But reporting them is a big time, because the action is already done and then you're going to report, there's no point of it. Yes, you can report, they might get blocked, they might get banned from Snapchat, but then if the action is done, then what's the use? So you've got to be more careful. So you should see, like whatever you do, you should see. And yes, you should look at the screenshot whoever has taken, so you know what is happening back then. And the last point is I didn't know. So back when I was talking about, at the starting, back when I was talking about the deletion process, over here, these are the Snapchat privacy terms, and they're doing some few final codes on deletion. So what happens is that whenever you delete, it goes back into data storage and it still remains there for some time, and then it goes out. Or sometimes it might just not. and then temporarily you can use it. The company can use it. If there are hackers, they might just hack into the data servers of this company and they can use it. So wait, I'll just give an example. So whenever in your laptop, whenever you delete something, a document or anything, it goes into the recycle bin. But then when it's deleted, it will still be there in your laptop and it's still back there in the recycle bin. So you'll have to go to the recycle bin and from there you have to empty it. It's the same thing over here. When you delete a post, a message or anything, what happens? It goes back to the data servers of the social media sites, and that's where these social media sites, these companies, they take care from there and then they remove it. So what Snapchat has given a few words on deletion is that we can't guarantee that messages will be deleted within a specific time frame. And even after we've deleted message data from our servers, that same data may remain in backup for a limited period of time. We also sometimes receive requests from law enforcement requiring us by law to suspend our ordinary server deletion practices for specific information. Finally, of course, as with any digital information, there may be ways to access messages while still in temporary storage on recipient's devices or forensically even after deleted. So it might still stay on your device too, even after they are deleted. So you have to be careful and just don't put your life on the line. Just don't take any risk. Think safety first. And that's why I was here to talk about cyber safety. And the last thing, be aware of what you share. Thank you.
India wants to know. India to bar cryptocurrencies from its payment systems, Finance Ministry official. Indian US Air Forces to deepen cooperation in Indo-Pacific, US Air Force chief. Trump accuses those Intel panel stop Democrat of leaking information. Maldives government defies court order to free opposition leaders. India Open, PV Sindhu settles for silver, loses to Chang in finals. India wins under-19 Cricket World Cup. Chelsea bus engine lost after team falters against Watford to lose 4-1. Both Real Madrid and Barcelona settled for draws in their respective games, while new signing Sanchez of Manchester United, Aubameyang of Arsenal and LFA of Watford scores. ISA under-13 football